Pina, thanks for coming on this journey with me again. We've worked together many times over our careers. The business you're running now is wholly owned by AIA Insurance, but it's AIA Financial Services, which is dedicated to financial advice.
That's right.
And your proposition is at a reasonable price. So for mid-market Australia, not for high-end, not for, high net worth so much as everyday Australians. Talk to me about why you had this vision and you and your team have been working on this proposition. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, great to speak to you again, Vanessa, and I always enjoy our conversations. And thank you for the opportunity. We recognised really, really early in the piece that there is an absolute need for advice in mid-market Australia. If you just look at the life insurance industry, 10, 12 years ago, the size of the industry was about 1.1, 1.2 billion. It's now about 340 million. It's reduced drastically.
Wow, by 2/3 almost.
Exactly right. Now, there is still a need for life insurance, but through legislation, through compliance, through the Royal Commissions, people have gotten scared of being in advice businesses. And so you and I have both seen that a number of businesses have sold out, have said, let's get out of advice. Yep. And that's not because the consumer need has stopped. It's because the cost of advice has become too much, and it's too hard to run an advice business. So we looked at it and said there is still such a need there, and we've got to provide for that need. And when we looked at it and looked at what is it that people want to lead healthier, longer, better lives, which is a tagline really that AIA Australia has, and it's a vision of AIA Australia to champion Australia and Australians to be the healthiest and best protected nation in the world. So we thought, well, let's do that with financial advice. Let's assist that vision with financial advice. And so we decided to embark on a business and really take over an existing business or part of an existing business, which would help us get a jump start into the industry. But our differentiator is to have wellbeing at the core of everything that we do. And so we show that link between physical, mental, and financial wellbeing.
If I was to say to you, you get in an elevator, you've got me till the floor 20. What is financial wellbeing? What do you think it is to me? What is financial wellbeing?
Financial wellbeing is how do you feel about your wellbeing? And how do you feel about your financial wellbeing? Because it's all relative, really, when you look at it. But it really is about how do you feel, and how does that connect and impact your mental wellbeing and your physical wellbeing? And how does your physical and mental well-being impact your financial well-being? So
if you're stressed, you're going to get, stressed about money. There's not enough. I don't know where it's coming from. From that, you might get anxiety. From that, it affects your relationships. From that, eventually affects your health.
Absolutely. And there's studies that show that someone's stress levels and mental well-being and their finances, and that relationship the other way around when you look at their financial well-being and how does that impact their mental well-being.
Better finances, better mental health, and conversely, better mental health will lead to better financial well-being. So,
absolutely,
they go hand in hand in this modern world. Tell me, you've gone through a lot in your own life and raised kids. You've been married and divorced. Like, you've experienced tragedy and good times and success. But talk to me, there's got to have been times where your financial well-being has been stressed, and talk to me about the personal effect and how that changes the way you run that business, because you're a very intuitive, visionary CEO, but it doesn't come from nowhere, right? How you grew up. It's all part of it. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, and I have this, and my financial well-being has absolutely impacted me physically and mentally, and I've seen the converse where I've not been at my best, and the impact it can have on you personally, and it has had a tremendous impact on me personally, and the impact on me physically as well, and the impact on my kids. You know, when you are financially stressed, your kids see it, they feel it. You know, you make decisions in life, and so they see the impact of that. They see that their life's changed.
Yeah.
And that, you know, stresses you even further. And you know, I'm not beyond that. I've just separated or just divorced, gone through a financial settlement very late in life. And, you know, I was the main breadwinner, so I had to actually provide for my ex-husband to quite a degree. So that's had a massive impact on me financially, personally, at a time in my life where I had other plans in terms of what I thought my life would look like, you know, for the next 20 years. I've had to completely change those plans and completely rethink my future, and that has caused a considerable amount of stress for me. So the fact that I've gone through that myself means that I can take that personally into this business.
Yeah,
and hopefully relate and connect to people who, you know, who might on the outside might look at me and go, you know, Pina's pretty successful, she's doing okay, and you know, but you know, sort of deep down that gnawing that people feel when you wake up in the morning, that thing in your stomach, that anxiety that you feel day in, day out when you wake up and go,
that rock in your gut, and
that rock in your gut, right? You know that, Vanessa, it's that rock in your gut where you go, it's up to me today. Like, I need to get up, get out of bed, get out of this dark hole. And I've, you know, been in that dark hole and gone, I need to do something about this. And so, you know, with that passion, I suppose, and with that vision, you know, I want us to help people who may be feeling the same, and do something about their financial well-being, and not ignore that it is so connected to their physical and mental well-being. And if they can get all three playing at peak performance, their physical, their mental, and their financial well-being operating at peak performance, then things will hum, you know, and it just makes such a difference. It makes such a difference to have all of that in check, and not all of them will be in check at all times. You know,
you can't. It's not
human.
possible.
You can't. It's not possible, right?
It is possible, but it's certainly possible to have a plan and to have clarity, and it's possible to be less stressed when you kind of know what the challenge is in front of you. And I think a lot of people fear money because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to ask. They don't know that they can be helped. So, you know, me doing this show, this program around money conversations is all about just dispelling the myths of what it takes to be financially aware and financially literate and to get financial help. I think that you're a huge part of the solution, what you're doing, and the fact that your advice is affordable and you can ring and get a quote on the advice and people can see the value of that, because, you know, you can actually see the savings in having a strategy and over the long term. So I'm really thrilled to be working with you on a campaign with your advisors to dispel some myths and get people to understand that they too can have financial well-being, even if they feel a long way away from it. You're an amazing leader. I've loved working with you and telling stories with you over a number of years, because you lead with your heart. And in business, I want to work with businesses that are heart-led every day of the week, and you're that. So I look forward to exploring in this campaign with you and your advisors about, you know, let's get real about money. Let's dispel some myths. Let's get it into the hands of the people. And I always appreciate how honest and authentic and open you are, because, I mean, you inspire me. You know, we've all had tough times and you do come out the other side of it, but it's the people who, you know, show them true selves through that. Yeah, that you really got to respect and love. So thank you. I look forward to seeing what we can create together.
Thank you. I look forward to it as well. Thank you, Vanessa. Hats off to you. You are an inspiration in this industry, and you give the voice really to all of us and give us the platform. So thank you for what you do out there.
Lots more to come, girl, but thanks.